So, by the time you hear this episode, it is actually going to be my birthday. My 46th birthday, to be exact. And although I knew I was going to launch this podcast on my birthday, I really didn't have a birthday episode. It is Tuesday, January 30th. And as I was preparing the launch, I was like, I should do a birthday episode. And that should be what I kick the Big Profit Energy podcast off with. This is me recording it. It is 9 a.m. And I'm sitting here with a big ass smile on my face because I honestly can't believe I turned 46 in just 2 days. I am so excited. I am not the woman who is like, oh my gosh, I'm getting old, or having regrets, or wondering about the what ifs. I am so excited to step into another chapter in my life. There are so many people who don't get a chance to see 46. And to be here, to be living, to be thriving, to truly be in a moment of joy is great. And I want more people to experience this joy. Big Profit Energy is a lifestyle. It's a choice. It is the idea that money gives me options to do what I want, when I want, and have the energy to get it all done. And because I want to catapult my success, because I want the time freedom, the personal freedom, the money freedom, I'm going to operate in my big profit energy. Because when I operate in my big profit energy, I am limitless. I am working through the fear, working through the challenges, working through the obstacles. I am building a support network around me. I am building a team. I am in love with who I am. I am willing to encourage family, friends, followers, and clients to be all they can be, because I am a part of the cycle of transformation. So when I show up for you, show up for them, and then they go show up for their people, and then their people go show up for their people, and the cycle of transformation moves forward. It is because that I am showing up that I can get more people in the stadium who can make investments. And the more people I have in the stadium to make investments, the more blocks we can buy back. Big profit energy is a choice. Big profit energy is a lifestyle. Big profit energy just isn't something cute to say. Big profit energy is the shift we need to make as a collective, so that way we can say Black women aren't just the fastest growing group of small business owners, but we can also say Black women are the largest group of small business owners and the most profitable. I don't want us just to be starting more businesses than everyone else. I want us to be starting more businesses and making as much, if not more money than everyone else. I want us to lead the charge in all areas. Is Big Profit Energy just for Black women? No. Big Profit Energy is inclusive. But I am a Black woman, so I speak from a Black woman perspective. I'm not here to code switch. I am also not here to be in my savior complex. And what I mean by that is, as someone who has her own thoughts and philosophies, I'm also not the person who is the social justice warrior or advocate. I write checks. And I'm being honest about that, because I do think that there are moments where I have seen where, you know what, I'm not even going to say all that. So what I wanted to do with this episode is share, what am I doing this year? It is my 46th birthday, and what am I planning to do differently this year? There are some things I've already started to do differently, from January. But I'm also not someone that waits until January 1st to start a thing. So anything that I planned on starting January 1st, I probably started in like November and December. So that way I didn't really have no new things to start in January. But I do try to wait until my birthday to always bring something out. What am I going to do differently this year? So, one of the things I want to do differently this year is enhancing my daily routine. So right now, my daily routine is prayer, stretch, some studying, and things like that. But this is a big, bold goal year for me. So big, bold goals are goals that I know that are going to stretch me. Big, bold goals are goals that I am striving to hit within 365 days. And big bold goals are non-negotiable. So let me tell you what I mean by that. Because the goal is non-negotiable and I put a year stamp on it, I am totally 100% expecting to hit the goal in 365 days or less. A lot of times when people make big bold goals, they always try to give themselves a backup plan. I don't have a backup plan. This is the goal. This goal is non-negotiable. So I was listening to, let me give you the exact name of the book that I was listening to. Hold on. I was listening to Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life, and I didn't actually realize I had this book. I landed on something by Bob Proctor, and this book came up, and I was like, dang, I don't think I've ever read that one. So I was going to order it, and when I went on Amazon, it said you ordered this book like 2 years ago. So I already had the Audible. So I started listening to it. And in it, it's like interview style. And Bob Proctor was like, go hard for 90 days. If you give something everything you got for 90 days, you will see the biggest shift ever. If you go hard for your business, your work for 90 days, people will see you differently. That's all it takes, 90 days. So he never really got into what does it really look like to go hard 90 days. He gave some tips, but not all in, but which makes sense because this is just a book. So a couple of things that he said, he was like, ask for the sale at least once a day before noon. Ask for the sale one extra time. So an example of that is if you are a salesperson and you are required to make 10 cold calls per day. If you add just one extra cold call, you could possibly make an extra 50 sales per year. And here's how. Let's say you're required to make 10 calls per day and you can close 1 out of 5 people. If you make an extra call per day, that's 5 calls per week. So you're guaranteed to make at least one extra sale per week. And then when you look at it over the year, that could easily be an extra 50 sales per year. So I was like, oh, okay, I could do that. But then I wanted to get really clear. Okay, what would go hard look like for me? Y'all, I have been in my software area since 2017. So I'm like, but this is something that's new for me. I actually want to step fully into this. So what is that going to look like for me and for my brand? And that's one of the things I think that gets overlooked. And it's one of the reasons why I love talking about authentic success. Because go hard for me is not going to look like go hard for everyone else, especially because I am a high achiever. I love operating in excellence. So being a high achiever and operating in excellence is my norm. Go hard can look like stress and burnout. And I'm someone who did that before. I was the person who went go hard, and I had the unicorn moment in 2016, but it was also why I quit in 2017. So I don't want to go through that again because I know I'm stepping into something that I really am excited to do. So I had to take a moment and get really clear on what was go hard going to look like. So I brought in some pieces that I've been doing over the years, like the fulfillment factor. One of the reasons why the fulfillment factor is important is because it gives us that holistic balance when we are going after big, bold goals. I don't want to just go so hard in business that I'm ignoring the other parts of my life. Been there, done that. So I'm making sure that I am actually going to create a daily routine that makes sense for all areas of my life. So the very first thing that I have to do is get clear on what do I want the daily routine to actually look like. So I created my daily routine. So my daily routine is going to look like this. This is what I'm going to do for the next 90 days starting today, my birthday. I'm going to wake up, make my bed every single morning. Now, here's the funny thing. I am the person that makes my bed every day anyway, but I had to put this on here because I remember I was talking to my friend Darius and somehow we got to talking about beds or whatever. I was like, I make my bed every day. He was like, you make your bed every day? I was like, I make my bed every day. That is a non-negotiable for me. And I was telling him about they say people who make their beds, they're actually more productive because it becomes a part of it helps you create new habits. So I actually put making my bed on my daily routine because so many people do not make their beds. And you would be surprised how making your bed can just shift your energy. Okay, guys? So make your bed every single day. So wake up, make my bed. After I make my bed, I am actually going to wake up my house. So I'm laughing because I actually had to put names to this stuff and I didn't know how else to describe it. So after I make my bed, I come out of my bedroom. Before I even go into the bathroom, unless I have to go to the bathroom really bad, I actually wake up my house first. I come in the living room, I open the blinds, I go into the entryway, I turn on my plant lights, I wake up my house. I go into the kitchen, I set my coffee up because I use a French press. So I set all of that stuff up. Then I go to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom, take my shower, do my skincare routine. By the time I finish that and I come out and moisturize, like I can pour coffee, sit down, have my first cup of coffee, and get into my prayer journal. Now, for my prayer journal, I actually use the Big Profit Energy 90-day manifestation cycle. This is something that I specifically created for people who want to go after big, bold goals that are tied to revenue, but also incorporates the fulfillment factor into it. So, what the 90-day manifestation cycle does, it says, okay, what is the big, bold goal we're going after in the next 365 days? And what are three things we can do that can immediately help us reach that goal? So in that 90-day manifestation cycle, I'm getting clear on what are the three things I'm working on. I'm journaling each day. I have an affirmation that is for that 90 days. I'm using the 369 method, where it's 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, 9 times in the evening, seeing what's going on in human design. There are a couple of different techniques inside the 90-day manifestation cycle. And this probably is going to take me about a half hour to 45 minutes. There are times when my journaling goes longer than that. And that's just because once I get to journaling and I get to writing, like I never know where it's going to lead me. Now, one of the things that I do as a part of the 90-day manifestation cycle, but it's really natural for me, is to ask myself, who do I need to be today in the business and who do I need to serve today? That's how I'm able to take aligned action. Aligned action are things that I am going to do that is going to push the three immediate things I am focused on forward so that way I can hit my goals. After I do my prayer journaling, I'm actually going to study. So I'm going to study 4 times per week. So 4 days per week, I am going to study. So whether I'm studying for my metaphysics degree or studying human design, I'm going to study in one of those areas because that's two things I want to finish up. The next thing I am going to be a part of my daily routine is I am either going to work or work out. And I am actually going to alternate those. So the 7 days in a week, I'm going to work 3 days per week and I'm going to work out 3 days per week. And then I'm going to have one day when I'm not doing either. So on the days that I work out, workouts for me are only a half hour. So that's fine. And then I'm off the rest of the day. And then the days that I have to work, I'm going to schedule that to be 2 hours. So now by noon, I'm going to be done everything. Now, let me also say this. I am not someone who's, oh, I get up at 5:30. Oh, I get up at 6. I get up when I get up. So whether I get up at 6, I'm gonna start my routine. If I get up at 8, that's when I'm gonna start my routine. Either way, I'm gonna be done by 12. So you may be like, okay, Kim, if you're done by 12 and it's supposed to be a go hard season, what else are you gonna be focused on? Whatever comes to mind, because that's the room that I give myself. Because I am operating in aligned action, I want to give myself room to grow. Here's the thing that I want you to understand. Just the fact that I'm committing to having this daily routine every day for 90 days is a go hard for me. I am someone who likes to go with the flow. I do whatever I feel like doing at the time that I feel like doing it. When I have deadlines, I give myself enough wiggle room that I can get stuff done before the deadline, but I am not the scheduler. I came out of having a schedule. So the fact that I'm like, hey, I'm going to create this schedule is actually going to be something huge for me. So, how am I going to make all of this work? I'm actually going to sit down and create my CEO schedule. My CEO schedule allows me to hit big money goals in 360 days without burnout. So, what I'm going to do, and I actually have a post on Instagram, I'll link it in show notes so that way you can see it. So, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open the calendar, I'm just going to revisit it because I already have birthdays, anniversaries, vacations. I already have that stuff booked out on my calendar. I'm just going to make sure I'm not missing anything. Then I'm going to look at my calendar and any conferences or anything that I want to attend, I'm going to make sure those dates are blocked out as well. I always put buffer dates in. So, for instance, I'm going to Woman Evolve. So, the dates for Woman Evolved is already blocked out, but I'm going to make sure I have buffer dates. So, 2 days before and 2 days after, I'm also out of the office. I'm not scheduling anything on those days. The reason why I do that is because I never know what's going to come up before I travel. I may have a hair appointment, a nail appointment, like something else. I may just want to relax, have lunch, or I may end up flying in early. You never know. So I make sure I block out those days. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my calendar and I'm going to start scheduling my daily routine into the calendar. I'm going to schedule my study time. I'm going to schedule my workouts. I'm going to schedule my work. The reason why I'm going to do that is because when it's on a schedule and because I'm committing to the schedule for 90 days, I want to see if what's the impact is going to make. It's not a matter of is it going to work or not. I already know that it's going to work. I want to be able to measure the impact by having it on the schedule. Now, for the rest of the time that I have open from 12 beyond, because my goal is to have this full daily routine done by noon each day, what am I doing for the rest of the day? That's where other pieces of work or life are going to be scheduled in. So I may have lunch with a friend. I may have podcast recording time. I may have podcast review time. One of the things I know I'm going to add is a live schedule. Am I going to record the podcast live? Am I just going to get on live and key? Am I going to create B-roll for reels? I don't know what that's going to look like, but I do know I want to commit to creating some form of content at least 3 to 4 times a week so that way I could have a content repository. That is not something I have done. So that is a new commitment. That is something that is going to be a part of this 90 days of going all in, and going all in is going to be a non-negotiable. Another part of that is really making sure I am activating my big profit energy for my next level. A part of that is recalibration. Recalibration means I need to revisit the tools and resources I've already mastered when it comes to mindset, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to sales, but I need to revisit them from who I am now, not who I was when I learned them. And the reason why that is important is because I need to recalibrate the foundational information I have for this new season of activity. Those are the extra things that I am going to schedule in so that way I can look through it and work, right? And I'm going to commit to this for 90 days. So that way it can be fun, it can be exciting, but I can also still enjoy life in the process. Now, I also have my audiobooks that I want to listen to. So there are four audiobooks that I have picked out so far, and I'm actually going to schedule time in the afternoons to listen to these audiobooks. So the four audiobooks that I'm starting out with is the Secret of the Science of Getting Rich by Bob Proctor and Sandy Gallagher, which I've listened to before, but I'm going to listen to again. Everyday Magic by Maddie James. I started Everyday Magic and I didn't get a chance to finish it because I started listening to the Change Your Paradigm book, but I'm going back and I'm finishing Everyday Magic. I'm also going to listen to You Are a Badass by Jen Sereno. And I'm going to listen to The Complete Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn. Now, here's the other thing that I am doing that is actually different that a lot of people don't do. I am listening to Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life by Bob Proctor. It is interview style. So I'm going to listen to this book daily and I'm going to listen to it when I have downtime throughout the day. So if I'm cleaning, doing my hair, like changing the sheets, whatever, I'm going to be listening to this book on 2 speed, but I'm also going to listen to it at night. So every night I am going to listen to this book overnight. And I'm going to commit to doing that for 30 days. So after 30 days, I'm going to switch to a different book. I have not picked out a different book yet, but I will update you guys when I have it. So my daily audio is going to be Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life. The four audiobooks I am going to listen to just to listen to are The Game of Life and How to Play It, Everyday Magic, You Are a Badass, and The Secret of the Science of Getting Rich. Then I have my daily routine and my schedule out. And I think this is going to be fun. Then I have my night routine. My night routine is really just, I want to commit to my night routine. I am not good at a night routine. So, one of the things I want to start like in year 46 is getting really good at a night routine. So that means making sure I do my nighttime skincare routine. That means making sure I do my nighttime journaling. Now, nighttime journaling is my gratitude list, gratitude thankful list. What could I have done differently today? And also, what must I get done tomorrow? So, what must I get done tomorrow is actually something new that was not on my nighttime routine in the past. I am someone who has been living in my soft girl era for the last 4 years. But I also know that there are going to be seasons, especially because I have some really big, bold goals where I do have to go all in. I have to show up differently. I have to go a little harder. And I'm actually excited to do that because honestly, I've been off for like 4 years. And when I say I've been off, I mean I've been really lax about business, marketing, content, all the things. But that's also because I wasn't feeling it, because I was disassociated, because I was just like, it is what it is. Now I have something that I'm excited about. My momentum is high, and I really want this thing to be successful. And I think that's a lot of times why people step back or they fall back. Like I see so many people right now saying they're burning out, they're closing business, they're closing doors, they're closing programs. And it's some of the really big names, people who we love sharing that they had these 7-figure courses and programs that now feel burnt out and have to step back. Like I've seen at least 10 of them say they've closed the doors on their programs and they just need some time off. I think the difference now for me, because I was that person in 2017 who was like, I just need some time off. The difference now for me is I've had the time off, and now I know what my go hard season needs to look like. So for year 46 is going to be a go hard year for me, but it's going to be a go hard year that is fulfilled. When I had my go hard years before, I didn't know what it means to have a fulfilled life. Go hard meant just go hard in the business. Now I know how to go hard and be fulfilled, and that's going to look a lot differently. So, one of the things I am actually going to journal about on my birthday is What will the next 90 days look like for me? I'm going to journal all of that out, and then I'm going to report on it to you guys what that looks like in 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days, because I think it's important to show on the Big Profit Energy podcast how I bring life into business and vice versa. That is something that I really want to share and bring forward. So, this is not going to be like your typical business podcast where I'm just giving you strategies. I want to have conversations with you, I want to talk life with you. I'm going to have some exciting guests. Like, I'm not just going to have a business coach guest. I'm going to have guests from all walks of life that can really show us how do we go hard in business but still be fulfilled at the same time. Because if you can go hard in business and still be fulfilled, you are actually activating your season of big profit energy. And when you activate your season of big profit energy, you actually have the type of money that can give you options, because you can do what you want when you want and have the energy to get it all done. So, happy birthday to me, and welcome to the Big Profit Energy Podcast. I can't wait to get to know each and every one of you. Yeah. And that's a wrap for my birthday episode of Big Profit Energy. I want you to remember, your power and success are in your hands. Keep channeling your main character energy, and don't forget to manifest your dreams into reality. Until next time, stay empowered, stay inspired, and keep igniting that big profit energy. Be sure to hit subscribe for more, and let's keep this energy flowing. I'll see you on the next episode of Big Profit Energy.